you've worked hard, obviously. There's people who are like, oh, it's one hit. What do you say to them?
I mean, what can I say to them? You know, how you feel and your opinion, God gave it to you. I can't change your opinion. All I can do is work hard and keep putting out music, and then whatever else these same people who say I'm a one-hit wonder made this song so popular, do it again. And then they're like, oh, he's a two-hit wonder. And I'll be a three-hit wonder. You know, what am I?
Nicholas Joseph Williams, aka Trinidad James, born September 24th, 1987. Today's feature is the epitome of timing is everything and what happens when things happen at the perfect time. One of those important times was 2012 when Trinidad James released a song that would change his life forever and introduce one of the more distinct hip-hop songs of all time and a pivotal song of the 2010s, the platinum All Go Everything. The song was so influential that Bruno Mars reportedly paid him $150,000 just to use a line from the song, "Don't believe me, just watch," $150K. The song had so many quotables, I'm sure he's found a way to make money from them at the time and can still find ways to monetize those today. Pop tamale, I'm sweatin'. Whew. Easily a top 5 distinctive line of all time. And who could ever forget how good it felt and sounded hearing the N-word over and over, leading into the Underdog's theme chant, "Don't believe me, just watch." Don't believe me, just watch, nigga, nigga, nigga. Even going back to researching the song and video, it almost shocks me the same person put this out compared to other music I've heard from Trinidad James. All Go Everything felt confident, felt authentic, like a fresh new thing that was such a bright idea, you just knew more of the same was coming and it would be amazing. For me, when I say that, I mean first seeing the character Trinidad James made so much sense, like almost in a flash of an instant, you could see exactly where this could go. First of all, you notice how similar he looks and carries himself to the popular Jerome character from Martin, and it brings back the nostalgia of 80s and early 90s babies that came up on the Martin show, and it was perfect time to bring that character back, but in a musical and still ignorant way. It did not feel forced. It felt truthful that this was exactly who Trinidad James was in his everyday life, and he wasn't afraid of being that. But then, as time went on, and as the saying goes, they build you up to break you down, more of the same did not spawn from the viral hit song, as that would be the peak of James's career. One that was on fire for about 3 months before a second single was released, Females Welcome, that changed the course of what many thought Trinidad James could be. From then on, he's been labeled a one-hit wonder, one that shockingly never put out a single studio album and was dropped within 2 years of being signed to a major label. He had a unique start and could have been one of the most popular artists of his generation, if not for these 3 reasons. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Let's get it. Trinidad James is a rapper from Trinidad and Tobago that's lived in Canada, Florida, and New York before moving to Atlanta in the 8th grade and attending a different high school every year. He was always attracted to fashion and sneakers and worked at a boutique in Atlanta where he'd see artists every day and help dress them for music videos and award shows all the way to the beginning of 2012 before his hit song went viral. At that point, he'd only been rapping for a year. Now all of a sudden, he was the biggest thing in hip-hop. Stunt number 1, being dropped by Def Jam. In his own words, signing to Def Jam was his first mistake as an artist. As he says, they didn't know what to do with an artist like him, one that's different and has a unique talent. He explains that Def Jam is too traditional and was in their approach to managing his career. Whereas his other choice, RCA, always knew how to present artists that were a bit more different, and he's right. Def Jam had a formula that has been working since the beginning of hip-hop. It shouldn't be expected they change the way they do things for an unproven Trinidad James, or should it? Traditional is always good because it's proven and it builds reputation and trust, but there's a very thin line between that and knowing when to evolve and try something more new as a new way to connect to generations removed from what you as a label may be used to. But then again, what's forcing a label to change when the artist is the only one hurt by strategies that didn't work for that artist? Signing Trinidad James was good for Def Jam, just like it would have been any label. He was already the hottest up-and-coming artist in hip-hop before even signing the deal, so his flame being brought to Def Jam only linked their previous successes to a newer generation. But then it's like Trinidad James sat there and didn't really do much to capitalize on the light he had on him, especially in the form of at least dropping one album. The label expected James to follow their traditional path when something creative could have been done with an artist like him and his outward persona instead. December 2012, he signed with Def Jam and they re-released his mixtape Don't Be Safe and his All Go Everything featuring T.I. and Jeezy, which Trinidad James gripes he had to pay for out of his own budget. By just August 2014, he was dropped from Def Jam because of their traditional mindset of what a follow-up single should look like and him simply not having one they believed in. Being dropped, passed on, or traded in any situation can present you as not good enough, and that's what it said about James around that time. That maybe he was just a one-hit wonder. It seems Def Jam basically used him as a look for Jeezy and T.I. and never believed in his future in the first place. He'd never signed to a major again. Stunt number 2, not really accepted in hip-hop. Another major reason I think Trinidad James's growth was stunted was because for whatever reason, it seems he was never truly accepted in hip-hop, as his peers saw him as not only a threat for how hot he was around his viral hit song, but also because I don't think the industry took him serious. Again, this was Jerome from Martin, right? Are we supposed to take him serious as an artist? Was what the air around Trinidad James felt like back in 2013. They didn't expect him to speak so well and have these creative ideas he had to further promote himself and the plans he had to become an even bigger artist outside the normal what we know an artist to be. He's recalled instances where artists like the aforementioned T.I. didn't always show him love early in the game and didn't want to embrace him as a serious artist. He was still seen as a parody of sorts, a caricature already done before, and while it was nostalgic to see it updated, we're not going to treat you like a true artist. I think fans also saw him as that, as they didn't have a real chance to slowly build with Trinidad James and get to know the real artist because he did seemingly blow up overnight and didn't have the time to build a core that could support him in times he was unaccepted. Stunt number 3, a one-hit wonder. And lastly, Trinidad James is a one-hit wonder. No matter what he says or may have said, no one knows another song from him. Literally, no one does. That's a one-hit wonder, ladies and gentlemen, and nothing's wrong with that. Some artists never make a hit song at all. Most people in life never do something so great millions become aware of it and even support it monetarily. But it is what it is. He couldn't follow All Go Everything and is why he never released a debut album and was shelved, then dropped from Def Jam. After a hit song, everyone is waiting to see what you do next, so a follow-up is a make or break situation for an artist. James followed his up with a track called Females Welcomed, which was nowhere near the track All Go Everything was in any way. Like I said, I was shocked the same person made those as far as lyrics, feel, and even sound. All Go Everything felt triumphant, like a stamp that a meteor was here. Single 2 was almost unlistenable to me and didn't feel much like anything. It didn't work, and neither did anything else he's put out ever since. All in all, Trinidad James made a really dope song that's timeless in every way. He used that one success to host parties, TV shows, be in movies, meet and bond with countless important people, and changed his life forever. He's not a failure in life itself, but as an artist, I saw becoming a force in hip-hop and creativeness, period. He never became that, and even himself acknowledges he fell off. Salute to Trinidad James, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.